Hey, welcome back to That Podcast with Isaac Dana. I have no idea how you found me, but I'm happy you did. If you're an entrepreneur, or if you don't even know what that word means yet, but you kind of want to be one, you landed in the right place. Transparency and honesty are the most valuable assets I can give you. As you listen to this, you'll start to understand and possibly relate to the good times and the bad of someone who refuses to work for the man ever again. Like if you hate your job and it feels suffocating because you truly believe that you have so much more potential, if you feel stuck and you just can't seem to figure out what to do next to achieve your goals, or even if you don't know how to set goals yet, that's all about to change for you. Because my number one goal for this podcast is to help you understand your worth and completely transform your outlook on life, giving you so much value, it allows you to become what you aspire to be. If you have any questions or you just want to reach out and chat, bounce some ideas off me, reach out to me. My handle is @IsaacDana on all social media platforms. So that's @IsaacDana, and I will gladly try to help you out in any way I possibly can. Hey, welcome back to That Podcast with Isaac Dana. This is episode 107, and today I am extremely proud to say that I have Richard Nwaoko on the podcast, and we're just going to do a quick little one. It's probably going to be about 30 minutes or so. We're on a drive. We're going to be driving around right now, heading to another buddy's house, and I figured where better than, we don't have to put time aside to do it. It's kind of like time's already put aside for us to do this, so I would like to introduce Richard Nwaoko.
What's going on, everybody? And you're in motion. You drive so smooth.
I am driving pretty smooth.
Trafficating early.
This is the setup too. We got the little mic stand here.
If you guys can see us right now, we're clearly safe. We're doing it in the most safest way possible.
Yeah, I do apologize when you're listening to this because Rich's mic is it's a lav mic and mine's the extremely good mic. Not that Rich is bad, but I don't have enough money yet to buy this new mic. So
or you just sound sexier.
I just sound sexier too. Yeah. No, I'll fix your voice in post though. Okay. I'll fix your voice.
Give me some auto-tune on there.
We'll fix it in post.
You know?
All right. So the reason I have Rich on the show is because he was just down in Africa for the holidays, and I want to discuss. I've never been to Africa, and some of my listeners have never been to Africa, so I would love to discuss some of the things that you learned while you were down there that you could bring back to the U.S. And if you learned, if you took something for granted here that you didn't realize you did, or if you have a new appreciation for the States, or if you have a new appreciation for Africa. So is there, earlier you were talking about waking up early just naturally because there was roosters outside.
Yeah, it was cool.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. All right, so this past December I went to Nigeria. That's the country that my family is from. I'm the first generation here in the U.S. So being in Nigeria was like an experience and a half. I was talking to Isaac earlier about how I didn't have an alarm clock, or I didn't just naturally woke up. I woke up with an amazing soundtrack of roosters. Is that word crowing or cocking?
You said cocks crowing?
Cocks crowing. Like literally, it was the most phenomenal thing of my life because I didn't have a watch, didn't know a watch, and they did it at the exact time every single day. Like it was incredible, and it was like break of dawn, hearing it.
And okay, so before this, have you ever heard a rooster before?
How can I?
Because you're in Jersey.
I'm in Jersey. It's impossible. You would hear a horn. Hey man, get off the street! Like you hear a horn before you hear that. You know what I mean? Or like sirens or something in my neighborhood. But it was cool. It was at first it wasn't annoying at all. It was foreign to me at first. I thought it was in my room. That's how clear as day it was. I'm like, okay, is there a cock in Paul's? But is there a cock in my room? But it was cool. It was something to get used to. So my family in the village area is in the east of Nigeria. The city's on the west side of Nigeria. So when I was down there with my family, break of dawn, I woke up to hearing the cocks crowing, and it was the best thing ever. Literally to the point where my last day staying in the East, I went outside to see if I can catch it live, and I was able to do it. So I woke up earlier than the normal time of them crowing, and I saw a rooster, and I was recording it, and I was like, come on, talk to me. Come on. You can do it. You do it every single day, and right on cue, I was kind of surprised. I thought something was going to happen. I thought it was going to explode. Or so I thought it was like the wings were gonna. I thought something was supposed to happen, but it
take
was.
off.
I just thought that to make that type of powerful noise, I thought that something was gonna maybe like something was gonna happen, or the neck was gonna vibrate or something. But nothing. That was just so peacefully walking, and it just did it.
Just waking up.
Yeah,
everybody.
and I was like, wow, everyone's waking up right now. One more, give me another one.
So you shot some. I saw you shoot some video for Instagram, and that's what it was for, right? You shot it as kind of like a documentation of your trip. You told me about this before. You're going to try to do it every year. You head down there often. So, was there something specific this time around when you were filming? You were like, oh man, that is. Was there one clip in particular that you really enjoyed capturing? Kind of. Do you have a favorite clip or a favorite moment that you captured while you were down there?
Yeah, I'll probably say the masquerades, just because people don't know at all what it is. Like on Instagram, my community is a lot of Africans in different countries that live in America, born and raised in America. So like I have friends that are from Sierra Leone, from Ghana, from Togo. So it was kind of cool to shoot the masquerade aspect of it, being from Nigeria, because it's a traditional thing that happens during Christmas time.
Everybody has different
traditions.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, everyone has different like holiday traditions. Well, I only can speak from Nigeria, but I only can speak for West African countries. They definitely some have holiday traditions that are passed down based off their culture. But one in Nigeria, for my tribe, the Igbo tribe, we have something called masquerades, where they just go throughout the streets of the village and they bestow words of wisdom to the people in the village, and they're like they're considered the wisest people of the land, like natural things that they just talk about. They've never left the village for one, so they have this mindset of like simplicity and what really matters. Like, and it's amazing because they don't speak. What they say is not in English; is in the native tongue of the tribe,
right?
And it's like pure. Their accent is in the language that they speak is so authentic that my mom had to play the video over and over and over just to understand what he said. And the cool thing about it is the fact that women, through tradition, aren't allowed to see the masquerades or be around them. It's only a man's thing.
That's crazy.
Which is amazing, and I didn't know that. So, and I was fortunate enough to capture that on my camera and put it on Instagram
for women to watch.
For women to watch. Over the world, yeah. And that was like blasphemy considered to my culture, but the level of wisdom, what I recorded apparently was something in my language. When my mom heard it, she was like, this was beautiful. He just pretty much just told everyone that what he said inside the video was that this land is full with riches, and don't forget about this land, because the world needs to know that at the end of the day, this is peace. Is here. Is peace. Is love. And I was just like, wow, that was, Mom, that was cool.
That's beautiful.
It's like, Mom, come here, give me a hug. Like, it was
exactly.
It was just beautiful to hear that. And I thought when I was recording it, I thought I was in danger, because they have a bamboo stick, and normally they like run after children to scare them, like, hey, I'm gonna like whip you with this stick. You know what I mean? Just for fun. So kids are like dodging, like, oh man, the masquerades are coming. So it's like a fun thing. Like, they'll run in front of them and like, hey man, hey masquerade, look over here. And then once the masquerade sees you, they'll chase after you as the kids are running around the neighborhood. It's cool. Well, the village, not neighborhood, but it's kind of like a neighborhood.
That's the equivalent.
Village, neighborhood. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah. But I was and then I think that was the best thing for me to shoot, because a lot of people look at the village as like only huts, when there's mansions. Like, there's established developments, and I don't think a lot of people have seen that in Nigeria. I only can speak for like Nigeria is a country in Africa. Other African countries have their own structure when it comes to the layout of the property and the real estate.
And you have some of that in your Instagram, right? So could you just shout out your Instagram handle for me real quick?
Yeah, my Instagram handle is Richard Nwaoko. Richard, last name Nwaoko, and it's on Instagram. You can check it out. It's on there. It's called December in Nigeria.
It's amazing, and I think there's a couple of the videos you slide over. Some of your posts have multiple video clips in it, right?
Yeah.
16, like the slideshow
16 in total. Make sure you count 16. 1 minute each.
Watch all 16.
All 16. That'll be dope. You'll definitely laugh.
It was beautiful. He even teaches you, not teaches you, but he shows you Nigerian jollof.
Jollof, yes. Which was
I could smell it watching it. I was like, oh my god.
You know, apparently there's a rivalry going on in West African countries about who has the best jollof. Because Sierra Leone has their own form of jollof rice. Ghana has their form of jollof rice. And all of our jollof rice tastes different. And it's a rivalry going around, like who has the best spice combination, which is kind of cool.
And who does?
Of course, I'm going to say Nigeria. But shout out to Ghanaian.
I'm not going to
jollof.
lie, though. You and Sheka have given me Ghanaian jollof as well.
Wait, my friend Aaron.
Aaron. Sorry,
Yeah,
Aaron.
Sheka has it. I don't think you had Sierra Leone.
No, I haven't had Sierra Leone.
Yeah,
Right.
shout out to Sierra Leone. Their jollof is okay. It's good.
But the Ghanaian jollof is
Pretty good.
really, really good.
Not better than Nigeria.
No, not. I can't pick a
throw it
favorite,
out
guys. As a white man, I can't pick a favorite jollof. They're both fantastic, and
That
it
would be a
tastes.
good
Well,
talk show type of thing to just have a test.
Riri, what's his name?
Brary.
Brary. He said that's the only way the test or the contest should be.
Yes.
Won from white people.
A foreigner.
Yes, a foreigner.
And you foreigner,
trying to taste the rice.
Just taste it. You have to be non-African. Non-African. You can't have any ties to any African country because you're going to pick your country just to support. We don't want any of that there.
So speaking of Instagram, okay, you said while you were down there, at certain times there was a lack of electricity. It wasn't the whole time, but you said at certain points it was like, oh man, what am I doing?
So, the fortunate and unfortunate thing about it is that, we are still operating with generators out in some of the places that I was staying. And sometimes electricity will probably trip or something will happen, and we'll have to report to our generators. Unfortunately, again, it was fuel scarcity in Nigeria at the time during the holiday season. And to power these generators, you need fuel. And it was fuel scarcity out there, and which doesn't make any sense. That's another topic. But it was times when I didn't have internet or have electricity, so to say that. And things were kind of refreshing. It was good to just unplug myself from...
Is that your phone going off? This dude doesn't even have an Apple... Doesn't even have a password right now, and yet your phone still works.
Yeah, but that's cool that you can, at least we know is real, unedited, uncut.
Yeah, No, this is all my stuff, as the podcast listeners know, is uncut.
Oh, cool.
You listen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So any coughing, any derogatory terms, it's all in there. So
so I can't use profanity.
You can absolutely.
Okay, God damn it,
God damn it, Rich.
God damn it, who's calling my phone?
So electricity would go out sometimes due to lack of fuel to fuel the generators.
For some places. So
okay.
When we weren't operating with the generators, we did have electricity, but I don't, due to our government and things that are structured out in my country, sometimes it would trip off, or something can trip off, or there's a lot of things that causes the electricity to get cut.
So how do they handle it when the electricity gets cut?
We have a generator. So the generators will power the house, and it's run off fuel.
I see. So, okay. Sorry, I thought that... Never mind. Continue. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so there was fuel scarcity out there.
Yes. I thought that is how that is how the electricity in one's home is used on a daily basis with a generator.
No. That's just like our backup.
Gotcha. Okay, yes.
When the electrity gets cut.
Africans Con Edison shuts down.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, or something happens.
All right.
But then... to be exact, Napa is the electricity provider in Nigeria, in Abuja and Lagos. So,
but the important thing is this happens often. Because you said you had a hard time.
When I went to the village, when I went to the east, it was yes, for sure. Because we're in another part of Nigeria, and Nigeria is a huge country. I wasn't in the city, so
gotcha.
This is I should speak of the difference between being in the city. The electricity will be more reliable. When I'm out in the east, in the village area, you just see a lot of forests and trees, so it's not as much connections with electricity.
Like here, certain parts of Maine,
for sure,
will not have electricity.
Yes.
All right. Okay, it's making sense.
Yeah. So then,
thank you for dumbing it down because we have never been there. You know what I mean?
It's cool.
I've never been there.
And then, but it's good because I got a nice social cleanse of the whole social media and internet and all of that, and it was incredible. It just made me put things into perspective that I took things too serious and I was moving too fast when I didn't have to move at a certain pace. and it was good to like slow down and really enjoy my present moment and see the things in life.
And that's big for you because you're on Instagram specifically. That's like if you had to choose an app, that would be the one that you use most. And you're very in tune with who's popular, who just jumped on, what kind of celebrities are on there, how they're marketing, all kinds of stuff like that. Because you went to school for this?
I went to school for digital media, so like it's not only Instagram, just you know, Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff. So I'm definitely a digital media
content creator.
I hate to use the word influencer, but I'm influenced by.
No, but that's why I brought it up, because you are an influencer in the African community with Afrobeats Radio and Nwaoko Television. So you know the ins and outs of Instagram. In fact, I've learned quite a bit from you on Instagram and how to use it and when to post and the consistency and all that. And I think when you told me that you didn't have access to that on occasion down there, you post, how many times a day do you post up here?
Oh, I post, I post like maybe once a week.
Up here?
Say. Yeah.
No, for Now Africa?
Oh, for Now Africa.
Yeah,
this is my personal page.
No, just in general, because you manage a whole bunch of accounts.
Oh, yeah. Now Africa, daily. I'm trying to, it's...
multiple times. I will get notifications
I didn't even know.
3-4 times.
Yeah, sorry, I'm spamming you. I'm posting
okay.
up on your timeline.
I'm like, will you stop posting, please?
You know, there's a lot of good music out there. There's a lot of content
to
share. There's a lot of content to share.
So... What is, describe Now Africa for us? What is Now Africa?
So pretty much it's just showcasing the Africans now. Like, you know, my parents, I'm exactly it. I'm so serious.
Pretty basic.
And it's self-explanatory. I just wanted my title to be as simple as possible.
For millennials that can't understand
anything.
anything.
What I'm saying? My parents were cool, but they weren't too involved in the arts. And they painted a picture of how Africans are perceived already through the media. And, you know, I don't think that's a clear representation of us now. So then I like to consider not only myself, but also other Africans from other countries in Africa are a hybrid of, you know, having this being, I like to use the word Americanized to say, or like we're a hybrid between the two. We have the traditional, the traditional know-how of our parents, what they passed on to us and us growing up here. And I want to be able to paint that picture of that now through Now Africa, so pertaining to arts. So, but then the music, a lot of the music that my parents played when I was growing up, and I'm sure a lot of other Africans can relate to it, was like traditional instruments with like bongos and flutes and certain things that inspire, you know, that's like, you know, jazz related. And it's great sounds, but the new sound is been mixed with hip hop, country, R&B, and that I want to be able to showcase that with Now Africa, and then with the acting content or television and film content, the movies that we grew up watching, the production quality was completely not up to par, according to up here in America. The acting was overacting, so to say, and again, Now Africa is going to showcase a new generation of Africans in the arts with this hybrid blend between how they create content through all mediums. So that's what Now Africa.
Amazing, and this is on Instagram, right? Now Africa.
Yeah, it's on Instagram, on YouTube. You can check out, you know, certain things on YouTube and Instagram, Twitter. It's all on all digital platforms.
And it's kind of a one-stop shop for media as a whole. It's not just music videos. There's some short films on there from African Americans, and there are some DJ stuff as well.
Yeah.
Right?
So now Africa is
African events. There's recaps from African events.
African events
in the city.
So you get an inside scoop of just what a taste of Africa, but a mixed blend between the influence of America. It's like so it's appreciated by both demographics, so to say, you know. Like it's an Africa diaspora. People are creating the content. Well, they're influencing the culture of the content.
Right. Amazing. Let's see. So earlier we were discussing energy levels. You ready to go a little deeper here? Got 15 minutes left in this car ride. So we were discussing energy levels, and I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine, Luke, who I'm going to get on the podcast at some point. He's a author, not an author, a film writer, and he was telling me that my best trait, I gave him the book the other day. As you guys know, I wrote a book. I'm writing the book. I gave him the book the other day, and I wanted his honest feedback. And he told me yesterday, this is brand new for you guys, he told me just yesterday that one of my best traits is that he could drop me anywhere, and I'll figure my shit out anywhere based off of the motivation or inspiration that I kind of just give off on a daily basis just because of the energy, and it's like a quick little spark. So if you're listening to the podcast, there's like a burst of energy, and I want to talk to you about that because I call you up probably, I don't know, often, a couple times a month, just to see if we can link up once a month at least, just to get that solid 4, 5, even 5 minutes, to be honest, 4 or 5 hours, but even 5 minutes, sometimes it's just enough of your energy for me to get inspired and motivate myself to go do something else. So I've been on your couch before. I've woke up at, whatever, 7 a.m. You might have went to bed at 3 a.m. when we were shooting Becoming. Rich is the writer of Becoming, that web series we were working on last year. And he's already written the next couple episodes. But anyways, we were editing. We were in the editing process. We went to bed really, really late. I was ready to sleep a little bit more because I'm all about sleep. And he comes down, and he was gone the night before, like 2, 3 a.m. He was exhausted, couldn't even talk. He was like ready for bed. Woke up 7 o'clock, like happier than I am. And you know how I am in the morning, like just smiling, laughing, ready to go. And his energy was like, I need that often. So is there one thing you do before bed, or is there something in the morning? Do you roll around in bed, or do you just get right up? Or explain to me a little bit about your morning routine, if you have one. If you don't, maybe it varies every day or whatever. I would just like to know a little bit of how you get that energy first thing in the morning.
I think it starts off with just the why. Like, I feel like I figured out my why, and once I figured out my why, it changed my energy level immediately. Like, I really believe that I'm walking in purpose. Like, what I'm doing, it's time sensitive, and I feel like I'm a superhero. So
what is the why?
The why of why I'm doing it is, let's just say,
because why is very general, right? In a lot of self-help stuff we hear, find your why, and the why is gonna
but it's
take you places.
It's different. So it's different. So now, like, okay, before I go to bed, I listen to. I always want to learn. My whole mindset is always learn something every single day. And I've been learning something every single day to the point where I'll listen to a podcast, your podcast.
That's right.
Listen to any podcast that is self-motivating or something that I didn't know or I learned about. So I go to sleep learning something new.
Okay.
That's the thing. Like, I go to sleep learning something new, and I wake up with I remember what I learned, and I have the motivation to implement what I learned.
The night before,
I guess.
Is this with headphones, or is this kind of off to the side on your phone?
It's just, I never got read to as a child, like bedtime stories and stuff. But I know that, it does something to you psychologically. It helps you. Even the way you dream or your imagination is inspired from storytelling. So if I can listen to something and fall asleep to it, I wake up with a certain level of energy that, like, oh wow, I learned this is what I'm excited about, the new knowledge that I did learn. So I'm ready to share this information or implement this information in my life.
The next day.
That's one of the things. The next thing is I have a little bit of anxiety when it comes to, if I don't start strong early, I will not start. So I gotta wake up and if I start complete I try to complete a first task immediately, and the first task I always do immediately now is I make my bed. Like, I'm so serious.
Boom. Yep.
Like that, I can curse. That shit works wonders.
Yes.
Like, if you wake up and you complete something small and you're consciously aware of that small thing that you completed immediately in the morning, you get that small little dose of dopamine. Like, oh, okay, that was easy. What's next? And I'm not talking about, go brush your teeth because you're supposed to brush your teeth. That's not a first.
Yeah.
People will probably cheat. Well, I brushed my teeth today. That doesn't count. Something that you do not want to do. Who wants to freaking make their bed every single morning?
Right,
You would like
right.
them to have your bed made for you. But that small thing, I get up in the morning, I make my bed, and then I start my day and brush my teeth and do my daily routine. But I think the main thing is making my bed first thing in the morning, because it's completing the most simple task imaginable first thing in the morning.
So it's a quick win for you. And when you look at the bed made, do you want it? Because I do the same thing. I'll make the bed first thing in the morning. When I look at the bed being made, or after it's been made, I don't want to get back in it.
No,
right?
Because you don't want to mess it up.
It's done. It's done. So
yeah.
it's like time to move on to the next thing, and that is like a little small stepping stone for. It's a quick win for the day, I think. That's awesome. That's amazing.
Very simple. I'm so simple about that.
So a little podcast or an audiobook? So is it audiobooks and podcasts, or does it vary?
Pretty
both.
much
Okay.
both. If whatever, just something you're learning. Like if you learn something that day, that whole day, you just want to sleep to silence. I know some people can't sleep when something is being played.
Sure.
That's perfectly fine. But just make sure that you learn something that day, and you go to sleep remembering that thing that you learned. So tomorrow, when you wake up, and also find out your why. I know you asked me what was my why.
Yeah. Way off.
Yeah. Why? Just for me, I don't know how to put it into words, because I'm giving you the why of my existence. I just can assure you that I figured it out. I don't know how to. I just know that it's not done yet, and I need to wake up every morning to accomplish it, because it's a long-term thing. It hasn't. I know it's going to take work.
So what's not done yet? Is there a specific goal you have in mind that you're chasing, or is
Yes.
this just for like a better lifestyle?
No, it's not about. It's much bigger than me. So I can tell you multiple whys of different
Sure.
things. Why I created different companies, is because I had trouble finding a job out of college.
Right.
So my why is that, why did I go to school and try to be a fantastic employee and be rejected once I'm available to the market?
Right.
And that hurt me, and it makes sense to me, and I don't want my children, when I eventually have children, to ever experience this type of rejection. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is create security blankets that I worked upon. When I worked on since after college, and I built this thing from scratch. So 10 years from now, or 5 years, whenever I have children, they will be born into something that they can call their own. And that's the most gratifying thing I can ever, and that's what wakes me up. Like, okay, let me write this story. Let me have a platform to help undeveloped, to help unprivileged African artists in Africa. Let's say, what if my child wants to be a musician and she doesn't have an audience to have her music played? Like, I don't know what she'll like to do. I just know that what I like, I love music, so I'm pretty sure my children will have some type of inheritance of my likings. Like, if I love music, I'm pretty sure that
It might run in the genes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so if they like music is a little bit or just as much as me, they will appreciate the fact that I DJ'd every single day and recorded my mixes and created a platform just in case they want to be a DJ. They can continue that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not about me. I'm just not making it about me. I'm just trying to make sure that I solve a problem that is happening and can potentially happen to someone else that I love.
So you're building an audience for your kids, basically.
Creating a legacy, bro.
A legacy,
So,
yeah.
It's legacy. And then not only that, it's I identify problems. Even with my script writing, I wasn't just writing stories for me to showcase my acting talent. At first, it started with an idea of like, I have so much I want to give to the entertainment industry. I want to show them the type of roles I can play. I didn't have enough motivation to wake up in the morning bright and early and attack this until I did some more research and found out a problem that I would like to address and use my acting range to address this problem. So I had to find out the why to solve a problem. I figure out a solution. So, for example, unemployment. Like I just talk about the whole unemployment aspect of it. I will have a dialogue within a scene that talks about the frustration of something that I experienced.
Mm-hmm.
and then I will cast actors in me being actor in me in that same situation. So I feel like I'm speaking, I'm using my platform to vocalize a problem or an issue, or, you know, even sexism. You know, I will see my sister experience sexism, and I will now write a scene to address this. I'm using my platform. So that gives me my why I'm doing things, and that motivates me so much.
So you're helping others with the content that you're creating, or you're teaching lessons and from problems that you see out there right now.
Yeah, that's all it is. I just want to be able to make things better. I think that the greatest people in life are people that solve problems and make other people. Yeah, that's it. So that's why I wake up, and I think it's a sense of urgency, because it gets worse. Just like if you're not working towards solving this problem, the problem is getting worse.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's going down regardless. So either you lace up those boots and you help out, or the problem will continue and it will be passed down generational. That's it. It will go. Your kids will experience the same. You know, everything recycles itself. So your children, I believe that, you know, the kids will have to face this problem if we don't make this, you know, or try to make an conscious effort to solve it. And I'm just trying to do my part. And that gives me fulfillment, because when people ask me, like, hey, man, or when they come up to me, hey, I love what you did with this, or I love the way you capture this, or I love your mixes, I love what you're doing with helping other artists. They get it. They're like, what gives you the motivation? They'll ask me the same question. What gives you the motivation to do it? I'm just like, dude, I'm just solving problems, bro.
Right.
It's not about the money. I'm just solving problems. I'm happy you fuck with it. You know what I mean?
So this is a continuous thing with you, because not that you have a hard time saying no, but you do like solving people's problems and helping out a lot, to the point where sometimes I've noticed you got stuck in a situation where you're just like, oh man, I don't know if I really want to do this right now. For instance, editing somebody else's thing, you know, this
for free.
This happens
for free.
This happens all the time.
I'm giving out my time for this, man.
Right, but why? Because
the cause.
You're helping that person.
Yeah.
Solve a problem. They don't have a great editing eye, or you know, and you can help them out. You have knowledge that they'd benefit from learning from. You know what I mean? They'd benefit, and I think when I look at you helping that person, I'm just like, oh man, because I tend to do the same thing. I'm like,
I got that from you, though. I got to be honest. I got that from me. I don't know how long they know I've known you, but I've known
Isaac.
Isaac.
Talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, I've known Isaac for. See, has it been 6 years? 6 years? And when I first...
That's a long time.
It's a long time. I knew you for a while, bro.
Shit.
You definitely helped me, unknown. I don't think you knew, though, but you genuinely have a great heart, to the point where you just wanted to help people for no reason, and you didn't fully help yourself yet. And I'm looking at you, and I'm like, dude, like, you know, you're still young. You were 22?
Yeah.
And you're like taking the world, like the responsibility of the world. You were the guinea pig for things. And I was just looking at you like, dude, you don't have to take on this mission. But to see how the universe honored your level of leadership, and see how fast you were able to solve things, and how fearless you were about certain things that people were afraid to put themselves in that situation, to see how you became stronger from it. The fact that you just jumped the forefront and took the hit first, and to see that hit healed and you were stronger afterwards, you inspired me to like, yo, man, I want to get punched. You know.
So when you talk about is there a specific? I'm like blushing now.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there something specific though? Because this is kind of.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Is it like you're starting the business?
You were okay. I don't know. Do they know you're an actor? Okay.
No, they don't.
Isaac is a freaking actor that went to acting school, and while he was in acting school, he freaking used his money when he was living in New York. Didn't have a job. He used some of it. I don't know. He made money from carpentry. Learned that himself. Used his money. Got a camera. Start taking people's headshots. Other actors' headshots, while he's still pursuing acting. And you know what's the crazy thing about it? He didn't even have his own headshot done.
No, I didn't.
Does that even make sense? Like,
dude, I never thought about that.
Dude, I'm looking at it as in you bought a camera when you were in acting school and started taking headshots, and that's how I met you. And you were taking headshots of people.
Let's
other
be honest
people.
though. The first time I took your headshots, they were complete shit.
Dude, that's not even the point. The point is that you're an actor, and everyone knows, all my actors out there, you know your headshot is your calling card. Like, if you don't have a good headshot, if you don't have a headshot, period, you're not even in the room. Isaac was making sure other people were in the room before he even got a seat. So then, and then seeing how you blossomed from you trying to solve that problem and how you became a great headshot photographer, and then you still were handsome enough to be on camera, and you were like 23, you learned it in 1 year. So I'm like, okay, now he has that into his repertoire. He's a headshot photographer now. And then from there, you know, it was an inflation of actors, and it wasn't enough work for us. So what did he do? He took that same freaking camera, which was a DSLR, and started shooting people's monologues so they can get actually a role. Like, not only get them into the room, but get booked from their acting reel. He started to shoot people's acting reels. So now, again, Isaac still to this day does not have an acting reel. And how many acting reels have you shot?
I don't know. Probably 10 or something.
10? How many have you edited?
Probably that. And maybe more, yeah.
And do you, still to this day, how old are you, Isaac?
27.
And do you have your own acting reel?
No. There's a cinematography reel out there, though.
Remember, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, he is still an actor. Like, that's what people are not understanding, that. And he hates labels. He doesn't like these things because he learns things to help people. And now people, okay, he is a cinematographer. We would like to put him in a bubble. We need to figure out, okay, who are you besides this angel that's just blessing people with things?
Shit. But I hate being labeled. I really, really do. I think that is, even when I used to be working in a company, it was like, okay, you're the, or it goes as far back as I can remember, to like high school, when I'd be labeled as JV. But I was old enough to play on varsity. You know what I mean? And they'd be like, "Oh no, he's a freshman." I'm like, "Dude, what does the word have to do with anything? Like, I can play better than you." You know what I mean? And not that I'm nasty at basketball. I mean, I am, but it's no,
not anybody. But I am. You heard of me. I'm the best.
No, but it really does, and that used to piss me off. Like, you know, or he's a grade student, so like, oh, you're a D student. It's like, well, I just didn't understand it. If you took a little bit longer, I'd be an A student.
Well, I just don't like the subject.
Or I just don't. Yeah, I don't like you as a teacher right now.
You're a F teacher. Could that be an option?
But that's the big drive for Labels Or Limits, because I don't want, because you were an actor, still are, and now all of a sudden, within the past year and a half, you are now a scriptwriter for television and film.
I'm inspired by the bravery of my peers. I mean, you are. And this is what they say. You are.
This dude just bigging me up.
I'm just being real. You are, honestly, everybody that's listening to this, pay close attention to the friends and people that you keep around you, because you are a sum of all of them. And Isaac, I still to this day, out of all of my friends, you are top 2.
Top 2. Top 2.
Top 2. Like, literally top 2. And I don't have people that are willing to put themselves in that situation the way you do. And I kind of want to always remind myself that the world, the universe, it sounds cheesy, but it will honor all the good that you do on this planet. It will come back to you tenfold. And I've seen things come back to you, bro. I got to be honest.
I've seen some things.
Yeah, some crazy, great things. I got to let everyone know, Isaac is probably the luckiest guy I've ever met in my life. And it's not because he's just at the right place at the right time. It's all the good fortune that he's done and accumulated over time. And he just takes it like, oh, yo, this is great. I can't believe this just worked out this way. And I'm looking at him like, of course you can. You just donated freaking your whole T-shirt to that guy last week. That's why it's coming back to you today. But everybody, this guy's... I'm mad I even told you all of this. You still suck.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, no, this isn't what the podcast was supposed to be about. But anyways, I just wanted to introduce you to Rich. I know this is a short episode, but I'll have him jump back on if there's any questions you want to ask him about screenwriting or filmmaking, or we can have a little
acting.
And yeah, sorry. So now I'm labeling him as a writer.
Anything you want. Honestly,
anything you want.
They should be able to check me out. Mark my words, everyone that's listening to this, you guys are going to check me out on theaters and Netflix, I promise you.
Yep.
I'm not playing any games.
He's already on Hulu.
So confident and so much life and optimistic about the future, and you should too. whatever you have, goals, dreams, definitely just speak it into this is going to happen. Mark my words. What's today's date?
Today is the 9th.
I'm just happy.
February 9th.
February 9th. I'm just happy that
2018.
I recorded this. I said this now. I'm letting you guys know now. Everyone that's listening to this, I'm co-signing this. Y'all all going to see me on the biggest platform you consider the biggest platform. Not even what I consider. I'm not saying Netflix. Shout outs to Netflix.
And you're about to create your own biggest
I'm
platform.
going to. And that's
you're
the
already
thing.
doing it.
I'm already creating some stuff.
Yep.
So shout outs. And you too.
Yeah,
you with me?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, good. I need that good for it. Remember, this guy's a lucky
it.
guy. I'm just letting y'all know. Very lucky guy.
But you guys hear this energy? Like this is Rich every single day. I've never had a moment. Maybe I don't know. Maybe like a 10-minute conversation on a phone call one time.
I was in a relationship. I was going through bad times.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. But there's like, that I don't even know. I'm guilty of it. Like I've had podcast episodes. What's this? 107. I know there's a couple podcast episodes where I'll talk to you guys and be like, I'm down and out, and I'll get a phone call from Rich after he listens to that, being like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, don't be telling me you're down and out. He's like, sort your shit out, and then, but not in like a real super masculine way, being like, don't cry, you're not a man. Not like that. It's more like, dude, your energy level is like mine. We have a very equal energy level. Sure. And when you see me down and out, you spark that right
man.
out.
You got to dance in the rain.
It's so fast. It's so weird how fast I can move on from something when I'm
Everyone should be able to do that, though.
Yeah, I agree. Because if you're in that moment for too long, it's very unhealthy.
And it gets worse.
Turns to weeks,
exactly.
And years, and
it gets worse. You start digging. It's like, the shovel will always be handed to you. Don't dig that hole.
Yeah.
Like
throw that shovel now.
Just throw like, oh, that's just too heavy. Let it go. Like, let it go quick. Like, no, I don't want it. The shovel. Remember that. Like, they always will. Right. And I tweeted this too. Right before something good happens, something bad will happen, just to distract you from appreciating the good.
Ooh,
dude, that's all me, bro.
That's
all me. I've noticed that. I've been there. That's all me. I realized that something good. Like for instance, like I did a great audition. I'm so proud of myself. I was off book. I killed it. I had a great time. Damn near hugged everyone in there. Walked out. I got an email like, "Hey Richard, I think we double paid you for a job. You owe us $600. Money was super tight at the time." And I'm like, "Damn." Now
this was from another company.
Another company.
Yeah.
Same day, right as soon as I got on the elevator after my audition, I checked my email and it was me having to pay. I had to dish out $600. So I'm like, okay, how could someone overpay me for something? You know what? I was like, I'm not even gonna do some research into it. I'm just gonna honor it, and just And I think they did. I'm not gonna lie. I think they did overpay me, but I didn't know at the time that I needed the money. All right, so I was like, you know what? I gotta dish out this $60. I mean, $600. I'm like, you know what? Cool. So sorry for the inconvenience. Definitely have it back to you. Shook it off. Still positive. Came home that day. I got an Easy Pass notification, a violation saying I passed Easy Pass back in like September. And I'm like, dude, you wait until now? Wait until now to send me this letter? So then I'm like, oh gosh, you know what? That's cool. Maybe I did it. All right, cool. That audition was amazing. I still feel good about it. My girlfriend at the time was like, hey, Rich, man, you know what? I think I'm done. I can't do this anymore with you. I was like, what happened? Baby, I can change. No, I just think it's me. Like, I just feel like I'm holding you back. Normally, I wanted to, like, fight for it. I'm like, no, you're not. No. It's just like, all right. I'm hurt, though, because I love you. I'm very hurt. But if you do change your mind, I'm not going to be available if you do. That's the thing. I just like, if you do change your mind, I'm just not going to be available because I got to keep moving. Still positive. I'm not going to be, not this time. I'm not going to be all, oh, man, I'm going through a breakup. I just want to be happy about the fact that I did a great job on this audition. Just staying positive on that. And now the positive, by me staying in that light, the next positive thing that happened, the new positive thing that happened, Isaac calls me, hey, Rich, I'm coming down there, man. You know what I mean? I'm coming down there to check you out. I'm like, yo, what better time to come? Like, I literally broke up with my ex yesterday, and I just need positive vibes right now. I am positive now, but I want to keep this momentum going. Yeah, come through, bro.
Yeah.
Then not only that happened, my agent emails me back like, hey, Richard, we need you to update your information for this audition that you recently did. And it makes me think that they're in talks about me for something, which is making me super excited. And then I checked the scale again. I got some gains, I've been working out, got some gains on there. So then another positive thing. So the fact that I didn't let that negativity, it allowed me to appreciate the good, and now I'm back on that correct frequency, so everything good is coming my way.
Did you have a moment of thinking, not negativity, but did you have a moment to process the problems? Or yeah, the shit that was hitting the fan? Did you give it a second to like take care of it emotionally, or did you just kind of like skip over it entirely? Or?
There's no way to skip. I gotta be honest. There's no way to skip it. You just have to distract that. You got to choose which emotion you want to distract. So what I did to distract that was work ethic. I did a mix. I did a DJ mix. The same day of that breakup, I just went to music and I recorded one of my DJ mixes and I posted it on SoundCloud. And the next day, someone was like, "This was the most incredible mix." So I took that feeling.
Was so worth it right there.
It was so worth it. Like, I just took that feeling and I was like, I love music. Let me go to music and make a mix. And I posted the mix, went to sleep, woke up the next day. I checked the notification. Someone really enjoyed it. So that, I just distracted a negative mood or a negative frequency with something I enjoy doing and sharing that. And then that allowed me to, distract that negative and change it to a positive, which someone else had a positive reaction, which gave me the back frequency to remain positive. I don't know, man. It works out.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, because, and again, if you're harping on that problem for too long, that's just...
You gotta get out of it.
Get out as fast as you possibly can, dude. Like that's a huge lesson. And there's so many, like, if I tell you one thing, my dad used to be like, if there's one thing you need to remember, it's this. And I was like, yeah, but how many times have you told me that? So there's like 50 different things, But that would be like, that is a huge thing to when you come to a situation like that, whether it's a breakup or... you get these fines in the mail, the bills you can't pay, the fees. It's like, or the other day, like my car got towed again. I had to go to court and everything. Like twice I've gone to court for the same shit over and over. The podcast knows this. I've gone to court for the same shit. The car got repoed. I had to pay all this stuff, all because I couldn't pay. And I'm just trying to like be happy and just chase this shit. And maybe my priorities with money wasn't exactly or weren't exactly where they should be, but I just remained positive. And I didn't tell you this, but at court the other day, I walk in. I was about to do the same thing. I was about to waste this morning and then waste the next morning. And I was like, I can't think like that. I got to go in being like, this doesn't make any sense. They should have told me last time I was here and I would have paid the whole thing in full. And I even told that guy that, and and it was so funny. It was like kind of just, as soon as that thought entered my mind, I'm in there with the court magistrate, and the court magistrate's reading the paper. And the paper's like, it was like the cops written, description of the event that took place, and he's talking to him. He's like, or he's reading it, and he's just like, okay, so he says you were actually in court for the same thing a couple weeks. He's like, okay, and he was like confused reading it because it didn't make any sense. Like, I could have paid it last time I was here, like 2 weeks ago, and he was like, all right, if this doesn't happen again for a year, I'm waiving this whole thing. So I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And then I left there, positive energy. Just the rest of the day was just so amazing. Yeah.
The word bam.
Bam. Just boom. That's it, man. Just.
I got to put a disclaimer on this thing too. Also, we're not saying, distract your negatives with positive. Make sure you address the negatives for sure though.
You have to understand that feeling and what it feels like. Go through the motions. But get through them as fast as you can.
Yeah. Like I paid the bills, obviously. I paid it off, but I just made I didn't cry about it. I didn't dwell in it. I handled the problem and then immediately distracted once the problem was solved, I didn't give it any more fuel. The fire was out. That's it. Just put out that fire and just continue to.
Because there's bigger things. Like then you get back to your why after that.
Yeah. And that's the whole to tie in with me going to Nigeria and going to Africa.
Great little circle. We'll end here.
Let's do that. Great. Yeah. A lot of things that we take a lot of things for granted out here. I got to be honest. Things aren't that serious. Once you see another person's living conditions, you tend to change your perspective and realize that the things that we stress about over here aren't that. It shouldn't deter your happiness because no matter what situation, somebody else in another country, third world country, is happy with less than. And you don't always have to be moving everywhere to, I got to get this, I got to get this. You're not, I don't have enough time in a day. You do. You just need to appreciate your time in that day, Because in Nigeria, things are much slower. And we may not accomplish as much but we accomplished the same exact amount out there than you did here, because it's just mindset. You just have to, if that makes sense, it's just mindset. You just have to understand that every single thing that you have is a blessing at the end of the day, and it's something good because someone doesn't have it and is still living life and operating and is still happy, extremely happy. Yeah.
It's good. It's great words of wisdom. I got nothing to follow that up with. I learned a lot today just by the conversation of Africa. That's why I wanted you to talk about that.
Yeah, for sure,
on the
man.
podcast.
So you coming, right?
What's that?
You coming?
Yeah, I want to come.
Yes, I heard it first.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it.
I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. It's on my goal list.
You have to come. Ice is gonna love it.
I really appreciate you jumping on. We'll have to get you on again soon. Discuss something else. Maybe do some marketing for your next episode.
I appreciate it, man.
Shit, so.
Love, man.
All right, guys. Say goodbye to Rich again. One more time for them. The handle for your Instagram and Now Africa.
Yeah. Name is Richard Nwaoko. Nwaoko. That is on Instagram and all platforms, even Google. If you misspell my name, I'll pop up. I'm the only Richard Nwaoko on the planet. So that's good on you. That's good for you to find me. And then Now Africa and Nwaoko Television for all the content I'm producing.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to hear some DJ mixes,
Afrobeats Radio on SoundCloud.
Afrobeats Radio on SoundCloud. It's a big black A, right?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah. Well, the logo.
The logo is a big black A. If you can't find it,
the logo might change, man.
No, dude, that's the one, right?
That's nice. I mean, I wanted to innovate as I'm innovating my sound.
He had some dope ass stuff at one point. It was like what was it? What was the
Ankara?
No. The A had a fro on it. What was it?
Oh yeah.
What was that? What was
that? It was a fro, dude. It was a fro.
No. What was the company name?
Oh, Soul Africa.
Soul Africa.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah.
Similar concept, but we change our minds all the time.
No. But Soul Africa, one of my friends, he took it. Yeah. It's another one of my friends that it's doing that. I just wanted to. We had different visions. So I was like, dude, take it.
Do your own thing.
Yeah, you can have this.
Mm-hmm.
You can have that. I'm gonna do Afrobeats Radio. You can have that. Soul Africa Radio.
All right, we're wrapping it up. I'll talk to you guys soon. I will talk to you on the next... let's try that again. All right, guys, we're wrapping up. Talk to you on the next episode. Love you. Take care.